So I found this little fella this morning. I was out for a run, ran past the skip, and so Henry was in the skip. HVR 200A, high-low, missing his handle. That's my first observation. Missing, whoops, he's missing a plug. Second, he's missing his nozzle and everything else, and he's missing a filter. But he's very clean. That's Henry's go. He's got his wheels, he's got his wheel covers. He's got a smile for you. So let's see what we can do. We need to get a power cable on it first to see if it's going to work. To do that, take out these 4 screws around the edges. Oh, and there's the guide for the cable just popped out, and this lifts off. That cover, set that aside. And this carousel, this is what we need to deal with now. And there's the screws. Let's take this off. Flip it over, take that off. Now I happened on the same run to notice another vacuum cleaner, which may well have been working. An Electrolux or something like that. With a cable and with the vacuum cleaner red and yellows on it. Quite beat up, probably used for plaster by the looks of things, but if it's a vacuum cleaner, it's a vacuum cleaner and it'll have a cable that will do me. This one is 2 times 75 mil and a 0.75 mil. Let's see what this one is. 2 times 0.75 mil. In fact, are they both the same make of cable? Let's see it now. Where has it gone? No, they're different brands, but that is what it is. So let's just strip it off. Let's tidy up the end of this one. How much do I need? About that much. It's kind of neat though. This cable could be a dud as well. That's the other thing. I haven't tested it. I could test that quite simply, really, couldn't I? Let's get the strippers. Like that and like that. Live on the left, neutral on the right. Very simple. It even says live and neutral on it, which is useful, helpful. Hook it around a little bit. Some Henrys use Torx screws nowadays, but this one still has the old, what would you call them? Still has the old posi drive style. So let's route this cable. Oh, I've missed a trick here. Off you come again. Because the plug doesn't come off, I need to put this on here. I think that's the only bit I need to put on. If I don't put that on and it does work, then I have to take it apart again. I don't want that. I'm glad I remembered that. I don't often remember these things. There we go. So the old cable had little brass crimped on things on it. They probably buy them by the millions, well, thousands, hundreds of cables, and they'll get them all pre-made to length from a factory with the crimps on the ends. And I haven't got any little brass crimps. I guess I could make some, but well, I'm not going to. What's that? You don't need them. You just make it easier for the guys who are assembling these things, because it stops the cable getting all messy. Now bring this around. There's arrows to show me where to put it, and that stops it coming off. And this red thing's never going to make it out of the box. That's just the way it is. Right, that's there. Then this one. Flip this over. Try and figure out where the holes line up. There we go. Get these screws in. What do you think? Will it work? I have no idea. I didn't test the continuity either. Should probably do that now, hey? before I go any further. Could be a blown fuse in the plug as well. There's the plug, there's neutral. Start with neutral. Okay, we're getting neutral. We're not getting live. Try live. Yeah, we're getting something there. That looks okay. So the new one's not an issue. Let's put it back together. There could be anything wrong with this machine. Like, I really have no idea if there is or there isn't anything wrong with it. Put the lid back on and we have to line this up. It's upside down. Why they don't make them universally reversible, I don't know. It's gonna blow dust everywhere, is it? Plug it in. Nothing. Now. That's strange. Now, so that's more work, right? Well, that's a start. That's a start. So back in. Could be a broken switch. Next up. Let's lift that off with the carousel. That's probably what. Yeah, now we need to get in here. I'm just snapping the two sides out with my fingers, but it's tight. There we go. Let's have a look in there. Let's check for continuity again. So I'm going to try the lives. Getting continuity on the lives. Getting continuity on the neutrals. Yep, when the switch is on, that's good. So it's one of these boards that just adds the high, so it shouldn't matter. Let's go with what's going on. Let's take out the remaining screws. Red board. Brushes look okay. I can see them there and there. So maybe the thing to do is to energize this directly. Liable to make a bit of mess. In fact, I know what I'm going to do. Messing with the little variac, and it should have enough energy to give to this vacuum cleaner. It's only 3 amps or something, but what would that be? Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't have enough, but we'll find out in short order if it doesn't. Pull that one off. Pull this one off. Put these on. Hopefully they'll stretch. I don't think so. Right. To make the cable a bit more accommodating. I think I actually have a spare Henry motor now at the moment, which is kind of neat for a situation like this. Or else I can decide to keep it for spares. The other thing is there might be some issue with that red board not letting power through. Just made a mess in there. Take that earth cable away. Plug this in here. If it will go, there it is. Bring up the power. That motor is just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We can tell straight away that that's not the problem. So the next option is to just go on the basis that that red board is kaput, which is probably the case, judging from the fact that it ain't working. Now, put these cables back on. I don't think it matters which way they go. Hope not. I need to figure out what we're doing with this board then. Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to disconnect them. You saw blue was here, black, brown, and white. There's something stopping power getting through on that board, and these are tricky because when they break, they break. Put the board back in, out of the way. Everything else will be dealt with up on this end. Now there's two clips for the wires to go through up here. And then it should just fall down carefully like this. Hopefully. Yes, no, screws, what's holding us up? Not getting back in yet. It'll be some of those bits of cable that I knocked out earlier on, but there they are. So it only took me a minute to rectify, but I had that circuit board the wrong way up in there, and that was what was getting in my way. So I'll put these screws back in again. So where are we? We know that the plug cable works, and we know that the wires in work. So we just need to attach the whites onto the motor from this switch and put jumpers across to a light over here perhaps. So I've taken out this high-low switch and it probably works fine. I don't know if it does or not. And I want to replace it with this red light. It's just an indicator. I bought that on the internet. It wasn't expensive. I posted where I got it from in a previous video. Right now I can't remember. So this should fit in there. I have to get that onto it somehow. This is where it all gets a bit fiddly. Is that going to fit like that? Yeah, it will just. So how do I get that over the hump? There we go. So that's live coming in and then live going back to that switch. There's a spare live over here that doesn't go anywhere. And now somehow I need to get neutral to here and to here. That's an interesting conundrum. So what have I got? I've got neutral. They're going to fall off now, aren't they? Yeah. So I've got neutral there, but I also need to attach this one to this one and bring this one back around. Which is not handy. So I think I'm going to use a connector. I think that's the simplest thing, a little strip connector. Break this neutral and trim the end of the white, and that should do it. It's not ideal, but it's better than making a bad job of it. Position to cut that like that. Strip the end like this. Strip this end. Like that. Cut this one as close to the end as possible. In fact, I'll just nip it there because the brass ferrule on the end of that will be ideal. And then cut the end off this extra jumper. And live, cut that off. Gone. Right, so live, so neutral, so there we go. Live is okay, we're dealing with neutral here today. So we need a little neutral cable coming up. like this. And then the other two can go into this end. Space is quite tight in here. Okay. Now these will want to fall out, I think, whenever I start to do this. So, can I get that into position without making everything fall apart? Yeah, just pushed in and then snap it down. I'm going to tuck this guy in here somehow. Like that. Snap that red in. Is it going to snap in? Doesn't want to for whatever reason. Let's poke it a bit. I think it's a bit narky about these two cables over here. Yeah, I think that's what's holding it back. There's too many cables. Let's just sit this carousel up on top. Plug that into the variac. Plug the variac into the wall. Switch it on. Bring it up. So it's plugged out, well the variac's plugged out, it's all plugged out now. 60 watts was all I gave it there. No, 60 volts was all I gave it there, and that was enough to get it off the ground. So this guy has to sit up, and it hooks into this thing here. Yeah, fault on the red board. Someone threw it out, that's fine with me. So we put this on, we put this up here. It has a little line on one side, that little line there under my thumb, and that goes upwards, I think. It snaps down nicely. Flip it over. I think I'll do it outside. So there we go. We found the cable, we found the Henry, we paid for the light, which was I think £3 or something like that. The only thing I wonder is that cable a little bit short? And if it is, it is, and that's all you can do. We could buy more, I guess. A load of black flecks, but for now, it's a working top, just needs a handle, but it's ready to swap out if I find another bit of another Henry to do a bit with. There you go. Questions or comments? Thanks for watching. See you later.